is your top story. ANC Secretary-General Magashule will detail the outcomes of the party's National Executive Committee meeting. Now, this follows a 4-day gathering in Irene near Pretoria, and our reporter Samkele Maseko has been tracking that story for us. He joins us now live. Samkele, Hanekom's admissions that he met with opposition parties to discuss the removal of former President Jacob Zuma through that motion of no confidence last year, surely that is one of the top issues we're hoping to get more clarity on. What is his future?
Yes, indeed, Michelle, the Secretary-General of the African National Congress, after that 4-day marathon National Executive Committee meeting, which concluded yesterday in the evening at about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, the Secretary-General will be giving an update on that particular matter. Specifically, there will be a focus on the issue of Derrick Hanekom and what may have been the discussions around the National Executive Committee. We are hearing from some quarters within the ANC that that particular issue may have been deferred from the NEC and deferred to the National Working Committee to process that should there be anything to investigate that Derrick Hanekom transgressed the ANC's constitution, which would be Rule 25 of the ANC constitution, which bars their members and leaders from engaging with any opposition parties to the detriment of the governing party of the former liberation movement. That will be one of the issues that the Secretary-General will be outlining, and also the issue of the disbandment of the ANC Youth League.
Samkele, it's going to be interesting to hear Magashule report back on the issue of Derrick Hanekom, given that late-night statement he issued, strongly worded, calling him a charlatan, calling him a wedge driver. Might he have to swallow those words as he reports back on the decisions of the NEC?
In fact, Michelle, the Secretary-General was supposed to swallow those words the following day when we had an engagement with him here at Luthuli House. I remember correctly, he once showed me a statement on his cell phone attributed to himself and the Deputy Secretary-General, Jesse Duarte. That's a statement that never was. Basically, they were supposed to issue that statement out through the media about the retraction of the Secretary-General's statement that was scathing and rather hard-hitting against Derrick Hanekom, the fellow NEC member of the ANC of Magashule, but the Secretary-General was never issued out that statement. The only glimpse that ENCA saw of that statement was of a WhatsApp group that the Secretary-General, Magashule himself, showed to us. In fact, had the Secretary-General again on Friday allegedly being barred by the other ANC officials from coming out to speak to the media and updating the media as usual, as per ANC tradition, that at the beginning of the ANC NEC meeting, the Secretary-General would come out and speak to the media and outline the business of the day of this specific NEC meeting. That never happened. You only had Pule Mabe, the spokesperson of the African National Congress, coming out and basically saying that there will be an update on Tuesday and there is nothing else that he can say, and he quickly went back into the NEC meeting. So you may as well see the Secretary-General swallowing those words of that scathing statement, or he may just simply ignore that part and just speak on the decisions that the NEC took on Derrick Hanekom, which may well be to defer the issue of Derrick Hanekom to the National Working Committee of the African National Congress to look into if there is any case that Derrick Hanekom has to answer to.
So, Sam, it was a marathon meeting. It was a 4-day meeting. Derrick Hanekom wasn't the only issue up for discussion. Surely some of that testimony that came out of the state capture inquiry, I want to try and get an answer for you before we let you go. I understand it's set to kick off at any point. But surely the NEC dealt with, the allegations that some senior party members were in fact apartheid spies.
Yes, indeed. That issue was highlighted in the President's political overview when the NEC meeting began on Friday, with the President basically saying that it is very reckless for ANC or former ANC leaders to speak publicly and accuse other leaders of being spies. And going back to the late President of the ANC and of the country, Tata Nelson Mandela, when he warned the ANC not to speak about the issues of spies as it would divide and fracture the governing party. Also had the likes of the Deputy Minister of State Security, Zizi Godwa, standing up in that ANC NEC meeting and basically telling the meeting that it's very reckless and irresponsible for leaders of the ANC to speak publicly on this matter of spies. So you've had very harsh words against the issue of people calling other leaders of the ANC spies in this ANC NEC meeting, which largely looked like a face-off between two seemingly warring factions within the governing party. But the issue of spies did come up. Question is, will that talk subside or will it escalate?
Indeed, one of the big questions there. Sam, we'll let you go for now. ANC Secretary-General ANC Magashule will shortly be detailing the outcomes of that marathon meeting. Samkele Maseko keeping a close eye on that story.